I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati Rick in Detroit, convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude. Strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game. Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes. Craig Pettis in the M-Town. Sal Magluta with the boat game. Falcone with the cocaine. Like Freeway Ricky with the plug game. Like Monster Cody in South Central. Larry Davis from Coast. Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb ties. We on our way to Brazil. Rio de Janeiro to be exact. Motherfucking slums. And we gonna be covering a guy by the name of Thomaz Vieira Gomes. Or 2N or 3N, depending on how you want to talk about this shit or where you want to start covering it. We're going to try to start from the beginning. Matter of fact, let's start from an incident that some of you might remember because I know y'all are highly tuned in. Anybody heard of the situation before this Mobb Ties episode? Has anybody heard about the situation where a drug dealer or a Brazil drug trafficker kidnapped doctors or nurses and brought them to the poor neighborhoods of Rio de Janeiro or the favelas, which is a slum? I ain't even really look it up, but that's just my account. If y'all culture, y'all get in the comment box. But yeah, where he kidnapped the nurses, took as much syringes, as much supplies as he could, took them to the slums in Brazil and made them vaccinate the entire community for yellow fever, which was ravishing the poorest parts of Brazil with dozens of people dying. This was in 2008. At that time, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention had the country at level 2 alert. So the people that he kidnapped was 2 male nurses. They were working at an immunization post. They set them up in the middle of a place called Salgario, and they had them vaccinate the entire community for the potentially fatal illness. The nurses that they kidnapped were not harmed. They gave vaccines to the community for about 2 hours, reports were saying. Then they were driven back to their immunization post, and 2N and the guys that were with him, who said that was his bodyguards, they drove off and went back to the slums. Now, if that's not no shit that'll get you on Mobb Ties, the rest of this shit guaranteed to get you on there. So a little bit later in that year, this, like I said, everything is going off in 2018 because that's when shit really, really hit the fan for him. He was going by the name 2N. Actually, when that incident happened, he was under the name 2N. And he started out his life of crime under that name, or some will call him Ninam, when he was still a part of a group called the Commando Vermelho, or the CV. However, in April of 2018, he changed from that faction and he changed his name to 3N. Now, that was after the death of some would say it's a companion, some would call it a co-worker, a guy by the name of Anancio de Rosario Shoemaker, who commanded the traffic in the city that we talked about, Jardim Katrina, and in Sao Galancalo. Yeah, excuse my pronunciations. I'm getting really good with this shit. Now, at that time, he pretty much used social media, and I think they were using Twitter, to announce that he was going from 2N to 3N to reference his change from the CV faction to the Third Pure Command, or TCP, if y'all know about these gangs. So anybody in Brazil, man, if y'all got any, y'all been in Brazil, y'all got family in Brazil, y'all know anything about any of those two factions. What the fuck going on around there? Now, according to investigations by the civil police in Brazil, his associate Schumacher and 5 of his security guards were reportedly killed because the trafficker did not accept migrating with 2N to the criminal organization, the Third Pure Command. So it was widely speculated that he was the one that killed him because he ended up being opposition. So that shit is just, let's kind of go off base a little bit, man. Niggas jump from BD to GD, from Bloods to Crips, from, I guess, Latin King to Latin Count to real nigga to fake nigga to so much shit. But that shit is happening across the board. So it said like he was, this is kind of, it's off script, but it's back on script. Because I saw that his change or his migration came from somebody who was actually a big dog in one of the prisons in Brazil, and that gave him a call. And I can't recall the guy's name, but I'm almost kind of happy, right? I probably don't even want to mention him right now if he making calls like this to make niggas just switch sides. But let's just say he probably gave him an offer that he couldn't refuse. So from what I read, he was 26 at the time of his death. So it's no matter. It's like he had a like short, long life almost, if you can say that. But he was said to be the big boss of the powder at the Complexio della Celegario, and he was being monitored one time. From one report I seen in 2008 at a shopping plaza at the center of the city of Natroli. He ended up escaping military police as they arrived with rifles, and they tried to rush him as he escaped somehow. And according to the police chief, Marcus Amin, he said DH agents were at the mall to carry out an arrest warrant. Because of the secrecy of the investigations, they couldn't confirm the name of the criminal, but they can say that the action was mounted and targeted inside the mall. So he was really a wanted man and one of the most notorious people in Brazil. He actually had the most warrants called on him in that year. So that just kind of shows you, man, this notorious shit go worldwide and they can almost not stop it. But it will all go downhill for him later on that year when he was killed on a Tuesday morning in a joint action between the 7th BPM and the civil police and Itrabar and the border of San Gacalo, which was the metropolitan region of the state. And there was still not really much information on how he was killed, but as 3N, they want to say he headed the drug trade still at the complex of Salgario, and he was considered one of the most dangerous in Rio. The hotline had an offer of $20,000 to anybody that gave information for his capture. And he had warrants against him for drug trafficking and some in association with drug trafficking, going from the name 2N right along to the name 3N. It said that even while he was on the run, he would post photos on social media. One time in 2008, he posted that he was at a wedding party at the Complexio del Celegario. Early in that year, October, on a separate time where they tried to capture him, he escaped the security forces in the community of Sal Galancalo. So he was real elusive. It's like they was playing cat and mouse with him till they got him. It's hard to like put a level, like when we talk about niggas in the States, we always like, oh, he got busted with 2 million. Oh, it said that he was running an organization that was running $1 million a week. But it's like when you get to Brazil, that shit get like real murky. But you know, that shit come with bodies you can only imagine. And this shit's so wicked. I'm sure some shit I missed out on the story, but it's just some niggas we can't miss putting on mob ties, man. This nigga vaccinated the whole community. Nigga, just imagine if, nigga, the Black P. Stones went to fucking the medical hospital and kidnapped niggas and took them to the projects to test them for coronavirus, nigga. That shit is not going on. That shit is a whole level of fucking nigga boss type shit, and goddamn, the fuck them niggas on. But y'all already know what it is. Brazil, we gonna be back, man. Shit was real nice, man. Y'all treated us special. It's your boy Popalot, man. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, POP_A_LOT. And we gonna be back with more of this real trill spill, man. Mobb, ties.